Welcome everybody.
Sorry, off you go, Paul.
This is Stephen Paul. Welcome everybody to the second game of the day. It's day 2 of the Nationals. We've got the men's open reserve game between South Australia and Victoria. I'm Paul Nichols.
Joined by Steve McInnes. So, one South Australian, one Victorian. We're hopefully going to know everyone.
Yeah, we'll know the teams.
And absolutely nail this game here. It's starting in 1 minute's time.
Before we kick it off, let's just do a quick welcome to country, or acknowledgement of country. Want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, the Wurundjeri people, and pay respects to their elders past, present and emerging.
So what are we expecting from this game today? South Australia-Victoria, cross-border rivals, always good matches.
So we've had good contests the last 3 years, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure we played South Australia in one of the finals in Brisbane last year. And we were just talking about the makeup of the teams. The Victorian team is pretty much unchanged from last year. We just got 3 new players in. But the South Australian team has changed quite a lot, you're saying?
Yep, South Australian's changed a fair bit. There's a couple of familiar faces. Tyson in centre.
So Victoria's got the centre pass and Cal Baird is taking us off. Mikey Dow's playing wing attack.
And Matt Maharis in goal attack for South Australia also played last year. Chad Nelson, who just got the touchdown, has come up into the team this year from 23s last year, I think he was. Stephen Braun with the ball now, also new into the team, come from the Tricks Netball Club in South Australian Super League. Jordan Goggins just released the ball there, playing goal shooter for South Australia from Oakdale Netball Club, my club. As well, Will Sampson from the Tricks, new into the team from 23s last year as well. So, fair bit of changes for South Australia, but they've been training well. Oh, and the footwork call there.
We've got a different starting lineup to this morning's game. Xander Arbanoff not starting in goalkeeper, with Andrew Burgess in goal defence and Simon Cartwright in wing defence. Cal Baird in centre, Mike Dower in wing attack. Tom Fisher starts in goal attack this game, and Lockie Askew playing goal shooter for Victoria.
Good look in there. Oh, just too much on it. Can he really do it? He keeps it in.
Well done.
Second go at it there. Nice work by Geordie Goggins to Matt Moharis, who finishes off, puts South Australia on the board.
So there's a scrappy start for the first minute and a half, especially from Victoria.
And we've got an offside call here at the top circle. Yep, so doubling back on Geordie Goggins there. Try to stop that shooter, but it gets through from Matty Moharis. And Jordan Goggins puts it in. So South Australia 2 in a row. Victoria, some quick play there in the mid-court. What can they open up? Chad Nelson, front spot, gets a hand.
Nice hold there from Lockie Askew, but the ball just didn't come over the top to the other side into the space.
No, it just wasn't fed right, was it?
Yes, a bit flat. We did a few flat ones this morning too.
Stevie Braun nearly gets a touch through the legs there. It's called for the obstruction.
Yeah, nice finish by Tom.
It's a 2-1. South Australia up at the moment, capitalising on some early mistakes from Victoria. Matty Moharis puts that ball in and drives.
Great drive from that goal attack, wasn't it?
Was flirting with 3-second hell ball there though. Geordie Goggins, I reckon, just about by the time that drive all happened. We are stuck on circle edge now, South Australia. Will Sampson has a look to top. Tyson Jerry puts it in to Matt Moharis, who drops it off after the jump. Some good elevation there from the Victorian defenders.
Yeah, 3-1. Mikey Dower sees the vision, straight to the post. That's the quickest, the fastest way, straight to the post.
Absolutely.
When the space is there. One thing Victoria did well this morning, even though there was a bit of some ball handling and some not great passing, they'll just still continue to let the ball go and back themselves.
Oh, that ball cut off nicely there. Both defenders having a go at that one.
Yeah, they read it well. Just caught flat-footed with they didn't give enough options.
And that's a better feed. No flat feed that time. This is the first. Puts away the second. There was an obstruction call anyway, so we would have got another one. 3-piece. Nice ball there too.
Oh, they're just really trusting Lockie Askew and goal shooter to take the ball coming in at whatever angle.
Yeah, it's really hard to defend when you can feed from anywhere too. Yeah, miscommunication there. Ball going one way, play going the other way, so no South Australian anywhere near that. And another ball coming in here, too high. Chad Nelson keeps it in, flicks it. Thomas Reid with the crumbs around the circle edge. Tyson Jerry getting a little bit stuck. Oh, a long look in.
And that's
Jordan
a really,
Goggins.
really nice roll back to the baseline there, wasn't it, from the goal shooter?
Yeah, Jordan Goggins does it really well. He comes and finds body and then rolls off it back into space.
And
we go again, another nice patient build up here from Victoria. Got options everywhere across court.
Oh,
pops through the hands. Pops through everyone's hands.
You can see the look on Askew's face as the ball went through his hands, like, what the hell happened then?
Yeah, and then Chad Nelson had about 4 goes at it as well, and it still went out of court somehow. Instruction there, both players out. Easy one for Askew to put away.
Askew's second year playing nationals, and you can tell already he's a lot more composed and sure of himself, not moving around as much as he did at the beginning of the nationals last year when he was just too eager to get his hands on the ball and rolling off the body, confusing the space in the circle. A lot more composed.
Good take there. Nice strong hands from Jordy Goggins. Pulls in that short little shooter from Matty Maharis.
5 apiece.
Dwyer now having to go back to that transverse line. Will Sampson gets a hand on it. Picked up by Victoria in the end.
Straight into the hands of the defender. Oh, he's just a little bit close. That's why he got his hands on it. So Victoria just using a mix of quick hand speed and ball speed, and real composure and taking their time. Hopefully that will just keep building as the week progresses.
Yeah, that patience and just learning where everyone is and being those backup options.
Yeah, when to let the ball go, when to be more patient, and to look for a second option.
The most frustrating thing is when you can't get the ball off of a team, when you just can't find a way to get turnovers from them because they just look after the ball so well. Nice drive there to the baseline from Matty Mahara. Shorts
and
that.
And the ball was just off. Ooh, he got the ball back.
Yeah, if it didn't touch the post there, that probably would have gone straight to Jordy Goggins.
Simon Cartwright was off balance, but managed to control the pass.
The hops there, lays it in.
And the ball came straight to the post.
So, Victoria taking a little bit of a lead now. 7-5 on the scoreboard as it stands.
Oh,
yeah,
Tom just missed the trick then, didn't he? Yep. He just was looking in the wrong direction. The
South Australian defenders went flying on through. Probably just couldn't let that go.
They're both in the same spot. Now, these two shooters haven't worked together before, so...
New combination.
Yeah, and they didn't play this morning either.
There we go. Another one. So 3-goal lead now. After South Australia starting with the first couple of goals, they've gone a little bit quiet here. Will Sampson in wing attack doing all right. So, offside call there. So again, Victorians doing very well to shut down that ball into Jordan Goggins with a 2-on-1. Both South Australians finding some front space now. Mid-range shot for Matt Maharis. Reels it in. Jordy Goggins over the back of the post. Beautiful.
The defenders were expecting that ball to float over the baseline and didn't chase it. Okay,
nice little look.
Yeah, did well to get the ball, but he was off balance and couldn't control ground.
Just put the other foot down to balance himself, and that was that. Aaron Edmeade for South Australia into the game and goal attack. Look at that drive. Beautiful footwork there. The multicoloured shoe, so he knows which one he lands on.
Is that what they're for? I always wondered.
I mean, he has played like 82 games for South Australia or something, so I don't think he needs them, but they do look good nonetheless. Here he is again getting that centre pass received, just coming fresh on the court. Good drive again by him. He does burn really well to the posts. Another one of my Oakdale players back in South Australia. So Oakdale shooting circle at the moment for South Australia and Goggins and Edmeade. Layup again there. Yeah, Chad Nelson just not set fast enough, so the hands causing the contact as the Askew brings that ball up and puts it in. Tyson Jerry now having to go back on that centre pass this time.
So what can Victoria do here to set up a defence? They did that really well this morning, but this game they haven't quite set up their box and zone defences quite as quickly as they did this morning.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to get into those structures nice and early, otherwise they don't work.
South Australia are actually moving the ball a bit quicker, so it doesn't give you that time.
Ray Dwyer now. Nice early release. That's beautiful. Eyes were
Tom
down from
Fisher
Chad
is just
Nelson.
seeing the space for those quick passes beautifully today.
Will Sampson getting it through central channel to Ed Mead, who's too fast. He does step, even though he's got the shoes.
Well, the umpire's onto it because I didn't see it. It's too quick for me.
Too quick for everyone at the moment with the footwork.
And I can see Lockie Askew is just getting that little bit of nervous energy again, where he wants to go out and chase the ball rather than just let the goal attack do the work for him around the circle.
Yeah, and that ball not placed well.
Yeah, South Australia got a hand in there. And we popped it out. Oh, great defensive effort though from Lockie Askew to back that up, just causing the error from South Australia. Over the baseline. Yeah. Beautiful sweep around the circle from Tom Fisher.
Oh, but another
good
step.
finish.
No, another step in the end.
Step
Yeah.
in the end.
Umpire signalling that step before the ball went through. Lockie Crosby driving it out with Stevie Braun. Finding Aaron Edmead once again. Does a mountain of work, Aaron, when he's on court. See him driving all over the place.
Yeah.
You'll see an impressive split from him at some stage today too, I am sure. Jordan Goggins finishes off. So 10 apiece. South Australia managed to get 3-goal lead back.
Yeah, that was nice and easy. And if the pass is on, just let it go.
Yeah, sometimes in a netball game, it's just those teams that can score a little bit easier seem to be able to save a little bit more energy on attack, play a little bit better defense.
And put some pressure in there.
Turn up with ball.
Get the defensive turnover. And that's because of the good work inside the circle from the defenders, forcing the ball back, and then Simon Cartwright gets the easy pick off.
Yeah,
makes it look good.
Yeah, that's right. And the more a team has to handle the ball, the more likely for simple errors to start creeping into the game, the more fatigued they are as well. So if you can score quickly, it's always an advantage without rushing too much, of course. And that's yeah, nice hold there. Good way to open up under the post.
And that's where Lockie's missed now. Trusting himself to hold firm.
To turn and
block
hold
the
that space and just
let
stand
Tom do the
strong.
sweep. Tom swept around the top of the circle and open up the space so the pass came in. So often it looks like the goal shooter's doing a great job, but actually the goal attack is distracting, taking the defenders out of play, creating the space for the goal shooter to take the easy ball receive. And the same thing again.
Yeah, nice
Top of
feed
the
there from
circle.
Dwyer. Yeah, just we're putting that ball in now. Nice and easy, Victoria.
Just turning the heads of the defenders.
There's that fast ball movement again from Edme and
really
Sampson. And Goggins draws the contact. Should put this one in. Ooh! Just a little bit low on that shot. Catching the bottom of the ring. Puts that in though on the penalty. So 2-goal lead to Victoria. 13-11. Dwyer. Down to Fisher. Can't get it in straight away that time. Has to go back to the top. And, that one is...
Flies over the top.
Yeah, a little bit too much on it. I think maybe Askew thought Fisher was going to have a go for that, and in the end it just went straight out over the baseline. So South Australia, what can they build here? Lockie Crosby in the middle of 4 Victorians. Just opens up Sampson at the back. And again on the sideline. And again, that sneaky foot and that split footwork from Aaron Edmead. Just amazing.
But he used his body really well then, didn't he? Because he
Turned
actually
there,
kept the defender behind him the
That's
whole way.
right.
And there's no way Tom Gilberto could get his arm in front.
And,
And Xander Arbuthnot does a really good rebound and collects his ball.
actually saw a lot of missed shots. Chad Nelson has a go.
And that was just very fortunate.
That was offside call or something, or contact call on the edge of the circle anyway. So still Victorian possession. Pop that one over. Nice to Stevie Braun just getting called for the little elbow in the back.
The shooter-to-shooter combination is working a bit better now for Vic in the circle. Don't think Tom has actually had to take much of a shot, and Lockie's done most of the shooting. But from right under the post. So in the circle, if you're wondering how tall these guys are, Alexander Arbuthnot is 198 centimetres, so nearly 2 metres. But the goal shooter is 196. So they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, and they've both got wingspans on them too, haven't they?
Hugely long arms. I'm glad I'm not shooting against Xander Arbuthnot.
Absolutely. Stevie Braun just needs to go out another step before having to go at that ball. Get that
nice
front
work,
spot. if you can.
We've got 1 minute 22 to go, and it's 15-12, so even game, just one quick turnover separates them.
Yeah, South Australia just getting caught on sidelines a little bit. Wouldn't mind seeing them use that middle corridor a little bit more. Oh, it takes the posts as well there. And easy offload and shot, so good finish there for South Australia. Last minute coming up here in this first. Good long look.
He keeps surprising me because Tom Fisher's able to know when he can just turn and release the ball. And other times he takes his time and he's got more patience. Tom's been playing for, many years. It's about 25, I think he is.
Good
just finished his degree as an occupational therapist, but he's been playing Vic for, certainly since the under-20s.
That's what you want to see, isn't it? Boys keep it up and stay together for as long as possible. And he's the best combinations.
He's had to work at it. He actually missed selection for the under-23s.
Oh, good hands by Chad Nelson.
Partner. Kept working hard. That year someone got injured and he played in the team.
Got the
in
call
23s. And then he's had to get super fit to qualify and to be selected for the reserves team.
So that looks
Lost
like
about 25 kilos.
Amazing work.
Maybe that's an exaggeration. But he was a very heavy young lad at the age of 21, and he's super fit and athletic.
That will be the quarter, 13-17 at the end of the first, Victoria's way. We'll be back after a short break.
The Get Active Victoria app is an easy way to step into everyday activity with videos on yoga, dance, low impact and more. Set your own goals and track your progress. Download the app today.
So welcome back. We're at the second quarter for the men's open reserve game between South Australia and Victoria. Score is 17-13 in Victoria's favour, but it's really just one turnover, and the score is
it's ebbed and flowed a little bit, hasn't it?
Ebbed and flowed between teams. What do you think of the first quarter? What do you think was going on?
Yeah, a little bit scrappy. Victoria really settled on and started letting that ball go straight on in from anywhere. They didn't necessarily have to hit circle edge, and that, I think, made it a little bit harder for South Australia to defend, hence why they find themselves in a little bit of a lead. And South Australia sort of getting a little bit stuck on sidelines in their transition, so let's see if some changes can change that. We've got Jesse Robinson into centre for South Australia now, so he was in the team in the last few years as well, so one of the other returning players.
Gee, that was a nice centre pass set up from Victoria, wasn't it?
Yeah, nicely opened up for a skew. And again, See, pocket. That drive in, though, that's hard to stop. And that split on the land, too. Just Aaron Edmeade gets his foot as close to the post as he possibly can every single time.
So you can see just one change for Victoria. Andrew Burgess is now coming in goalkeeper. Tom Giliberto is still in goal defence. Simon Cartwright is in wing defence. Callum Baird is playing centre. Michael Gower is in wing attack. Tom Fisher still in goal attack, and Lockie Askew in
Here's
shooter.
that release. Too far out for Askew, so goes back to Dower. Nice little drive, though. Follows it up well.
But you didn't go too far on that drive. You stayed nice close to the post.
Yeah, just had to go far enough to beat his defender, who didn't actually follow him. There's a nice drive from Edmeade. Geordie Goggins reading that well, putting it out to space. Edmeade misses. Crumbs on the circle edge. Contact call. Oh. And Samson Gilberto the outside as well, caught up there. Another one for South Australia. Still 4 goals in it.
Baird to Fisher. And straight into Lockie Askew. Tom Fisher is really seeing it beautifully today, isn't he?
He's just given it now. Like the first couple was a little bit
if he
loose,
sees it, he lets it go before the defender has a chance to reset themselves.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they're expecting that first pass to come out wide, down into the pocket, and maybe the defenders are anticipating a bit much.
Yeah, Edmeade again finds himself on a nice split on that baseline. Really well done by South Australia, scoring every time down court. Well, contact call on Jacob Sell, who's in wing defence now for South Australia as well. So Jacob Sell coming back from a knee injury not that long ago. Kept him out of last year.
Did a little bit of a layup, just rolled off the back of the ring and couldn't drag in the rebound.
Chad Nelson finds Jacob Sell. But again, see what I mean? Stuck on the sideline. They get it now through Lockie Crosby.
That was very fortunate. The pass came too early. He hadn't taken off the ground.
No,
there was a contact call before the ball was passed.
It was very lucky for the South Australians to keep the possession there. Again, hard to find a target.
Maybe if there wasn't a contact, maybe the pass would have been better. So, they just ran into each other.
Yeah.
He's looking for the contact call, but it was his own player.
Can't be angry about that, can you? Because the call's not coming.
Yeah.
When you're wearing the same shirt, running to the same spot. It is unfortunate that cost them a goal there.
And that was the turnover they needed, South Australia, to try to get the score back to level. So now it's 21-16.
Not sure how that wasn't a break there from Edmeade. He must have still just been in the air when that whistle went.
And I don't know how he stopped himself on that drive. It looked like he broke his ankle when he stopped.
I do worry about his ankle. He's absolutely unbelievable, though, with those quick feet.
Bird to Fisher, straight into the pocket to Mikey Dower. And across to Callum Baird.
Chad Nelson causing a few errors. Again, that's off. That keeps it in somehow. Chad Nelson with the hand. And that's going the way of the South Australians, so they'll be happy with that. Get a chance to try and make up for it.
Tom could have just backed himself on that shot. He's got a beautiful shot.
Struggling with a setup there, South Australia.
Now Victoria setting themselves up for a 6-person zone defence.
Yeah, look at this.
Out the middle
look at this defence. It is absolutely nowhere to go.
They're taking up all the space, and they just need to keep moving themselves around when the ball looks like it's going to be passed.
Yeah, so
that was nearly 3 seconds, and there you go. Mikey Dower brings in the intercept.
Need to find a way to get themselves in front of somebody, get a short ball, and then open up something long through that zone defence.
Then again, South Australia had another chance to try to capitalise on a turnover and just weren't able to do it. Yeah,
so 5 goals at the moment. If they could have scored a couple of those turnovers, this game would be a lot closer. And scoreboard pressure can do a lot of things to teams. Some of them relish in it, and others crumble under it. So, goal there for South Australia.
Well,
Victoria,
there you go.
Dropped that one.
You know, he spent the ball before he'd actually caught it in 2 hands.
I think that was not actually a pass there from Edmeade. I think he just didn't catch it and kind of bounced past it to Goggins. But shot missed. So Victoria with another chance. Good quick transition and lay up there from
Good quick transition, but Mikey Dower on the circle edge stopped, paused before he did the last ball.
That's right.
That's where teams can let themselves down. They just keep the ball moving fast in transition and forget to slow it down on that last pass to the circle. That was a bit too easy. Victoria let that ball come straight in. So 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. both teams are feeling more comfortable on court, letting the ball go, but the intensity's just dropped that little bit in defence.
Nice high arcing shot there. Fisher puts that one in.
That's what we want to see from Tom. Because if he's got confidence to go to the post, then the defender's got to work twice as hard.
That's right.
They've got to worry about 2 shooters, not
Correct.
just one.
You're not going to know who's going to take that shot, or if they're going to go shooter to shooter.
And
that's what you want.
Alex Nichols has now come in and goal attack for Tom Fisher. We've got a long week, so we need to rotate all these players. There's 12 players for each team.
And they're all going to get a lot of run in their legs, aren't they?
So these teams have got 10 games in 6 days, and to be fully fit and ready for the finals, you've got to have every player on court.
Absolutely. Yep, sometimes these tournaments, it's a bit of who hasn't got the most injuries at the end and who's got through it the best, who has the best fitness.
They only finished their last game.
Connecting at that last game.
And they only finished their last game about 3.5 hours ago, so they've had to back it up pretty quickly today.
How far that ball went down the race there, Ed Mead.
Look at the work Tom Giliberto was doing, moving around that body, just trying to confuse the space a little bit. Yeah, but the goal shooter,
little pop.
Beautiful pop. Timing was perfect. Just knew when the penalty, the throw-in was going to be set. 25-21. Very close game, and he had two Victorians taking the same space.
Like the South Australians did earlier in the first quarter. Lockie Crosby has a contest. Can't get up there and get that one.
Call for the contact. Lockie just needs to make sure he stands his ground really firmly, so that there's no doubt that was a contest or a contact rather than just a contest in the ball. If the goal shooter comes off the hole too quickly, then both players are moving in the air, and it's just not going to be full of contact.
No, then it's just good contest,
just a fair
isn't
contest.
it? Yeah, that's right.
Fair contest.
Ed Mead now on the goal line. Misses that one, follows it up. Rebounds to Goggins, who's just standing there and got the crumbs somehow. Snatched it out of the air.
We're back within 26-22.
Yeah, so it's ebbed and flowed a bit, but South Australia haven't really closed the gap on Victoria at this point. It's a nice ball over.
Need to maintain the composure, be really tight.
Yeah, nice work there.
One or two turnovers, or a couple of extra gains at this point in the game makes a big difference to the scoreline. Get to half time.
Yeah, so still at that 4-goal mark. Overload set up here from Victoria. They do that little give and go well on this near side to us. And Askew once again.
So that's the second time the goal shooter, Nichols and Askew, have done the same setup where Lockie Askew sets up one side, goal attack, Alex came across the top of the front of the circle, taking the defender with him and just open up the back space. And the feeder was waiting for the goal attack to get out of the way so the ball could come over the back.
Oh, nice look there. Both defenders were thinking that ball was probably going to the top of the circle or something like that. And Aaron Edmey just flipped the wrist and straight over the top of their heads.
30-26. 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And again, high ball. Better contest there from Chad Nelson. Nearly gets a hand to it.
I'd like to see that ball a little bit higher and over the back. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit flat.
Again, you just got to keep it away
for the defender to get in. And beautiful intercept from Andrew Burgess.
Yeah. Just got to get it over that hand, right? Like, just that placement, that arc on the pass.
Yeah, but you don't need to pass it to the player. You need to pass it over the top, over the back, into the space. Yeah, Lockie Askew, he's got a good layup and he's confident and just draws that contact so easily. Makes it really tough for the defenders. 32-26 with that gain for Victoria. And that's a really nice setup from Lockie Askew. That time he had his body against the defender quite high up in the circle, creating the space before the post. So we know there's lots of family members, aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins watching their one of these players, and you don't all necessarily know much about netball. So it's good to be able to explain what's going on for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Victorians here, having scored the last 3 goals, could make this 4 in a row.
It's their shot, and it's a nice one, nice and simple shot.
They do. Good way to score that. 4 in a row and Victorian centre pass, because there was a step by Jesse Robinson there a little bit earlier in that mid-court. So just a few more errors starting to creep in for the South Australians. And we know the Victorian teams always and really do well to exploit those errors.
Really feel like the Victorians just switched their brains on for this last 5 minutes of this quarter and been really connecting a lot better.
Yeah, it's flowed very nicely for them. Out to a 9-goal lead, just like that. It was 4 a few minutes ago. And a holding call. Getting it all set up there. Oh, both players almost out by the looks of it. And another missed shot there from close range. Goggins gets the rebounds, puts the goal in for South Australia. So that's their first one in a little while. And
so Matt Maharis is now on for South Australia in the wing attack position.
Yeah, Matt Maharis, nice and flexible. Can run goal attack or wing attack. Probably even a centre as well if he had to.
And we've got Ben Gospel on for wing attack. And that was a really nice pass from Ben. He saw the backspace behind Lockie Askew. Lockie wasn't necessarily expecting it, but turned his body, took the ball in the air, no problem at all.
Yeah, and Will Sampson is a goal shooter for South Australia. So South Australia going a little bit more mobile for this last minute 15 or so. Up that front end. Or Jesse Robinson leaves it behind.
Oh, and that's lucky not to be called a replay because that was pretty controlled, the first bounce.
Yeah, they picks it up though, but, so Victoria get away with it.
With the rule changes, one controlled bounce and then one uncontrolled possession. So that's a really nice feed from Alex, straight into the post.
Yeah, so South Australia going to try and force Victoria like they were a bit earlier on to kick that ball around a bit and maybe make some errors outside the circle, because at the moment it's just going in too easily as Chad Nelson gets his hand to it, but it falls to Victoria. And
that was a good chase from Nichols just to pick up that ball, pick up the loose ball.
So now it's 11.
And that, I don't know how that's happened so quickly.
So quickly, isn't it?
It's been 3.5 minutes. A couple of good gains and a couple of slips, small errors.
Has forced some changes for South Australia and a few errors probably with those changes as well. There's a nice pop. And Aaron Edmey, like you said, he gets that foot right to the post, puts that one in. South Australia need that on the precipice of half-time here.
Baird to Gospel.
Yeah, and Chad Nelson comes out for one. That's what we want from him.
And the pass is just a little bit soft.
That's going to be a shot after
siren, and it's a long shot here. And just
no player standing out.
He gets a second shot.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure there's a contact here. So
the wrong player was standing out of play.
There we go.
And he gets the goal.
What a finish for South Australia after letting that go a little bit there. Victoria, though, with a 9-goal lead, 38-29 at half-time.
Brings it back to 9, and that could be important.
Could be very important come the end of this game. All right, we'll take a quick break and be back for the second half.
The Get Active Victoria app is an easy way to step into everyday activity with videos on yoga, dance, low impact and more. Set your own goals and track your progress. Victoria app today.
So we're back to the second half. Men's Open Reserve, Victoria versus South Australia. The score is 38-29. And really the score just blew out that little bit in the last 3-4 minutes of the second quarter, where Victoria held their composure and South Australia just made a few small errors.
Yeah, a few changes that they rolled on and didn't maybe work the way they wanted to there. So hopefully they can settle it again now in this. Oh, Matt Maharis comes through trying to get an intercept there, but would have been offside anyway.
So they had some more changes for Victoria in the front line. We've got Danny Lotes as goal shooter. He's had a couple of years off nationals while he was studying and working overseas. But he's very experienced netballer. Played with this reserves team, but as a defender in South Australia 3 years ago.
Yep, in Adelaide.
He's a natural shooter.
Just how I remember the name.
And Alex Nichols in goal attack. Ben Gospel, it's his first nationals playing for Victoria in the reserves team, open reserves. Callum Baird in centre. And Flynn Pospisil is coming in at wing defence.
Yeah.
Tom Gilberto in goal defence and Andrew Burgess in goalkeeper.
The Victorians give that one up. A nice drive there from Maharis to the pocket. Will Sampson and him combining well at the start of this quarter. Aaron Edmead misses that shot and it's going to stay South Australia. So really want to make sure they tidy up these missed shots. I do wonder, there were a lot of balls bouncing off these rings pretty hard. If the shot's high, it seems to bounce a fair way and not be a very friendly roll. It's the same in the Opens game last night, I noticed.
That might just mean that the balls are pumped up really tight. When they're tight,
and they just ping in a bit.
Ping off the back of the ring quickly.
Which means they're just going to have to be accurate and just get that ball straight through, right? Don't hit the ring. That's probably the best way to solve that problem.
Makes you a good backspin.
Flynn Popsill winds up.
Goal assist from wing defence. We'll chalk that one down, Flynn.
He'd be pumped with that. And again, cross-court ball there from South Australia. Tyson and Aaron Edmead working well there. And
he does have a long split, that goal shooter, doesn't he?
He does.
He got 1.5 meters on that, that little pop out.
Yeah, can pretty much almost be touching the ground with that split.
Nichols, back to Baird. Gilberto.
Nice and patient here, but all in the same space.
Straight into the arms of the defender that time.
It was a good tip that allowed that ball to fall to Tyson Jerry. So, South Australia again here. What have they got? Stevie Braun. Has to have a look for some options. Maharis for him. Again, everyone on top of each other here.
Yeah, Victoria really forcing South Australia to the sideline.
Yeah, they are. It's still on the sideline. There they go back into Jacob Sell. Goes far side to Maharis, and Tyson Jerry finds himself over there as well. Obstruction on Popsill outside the circle. Shot. That is the way. Will Sampson doesn't hit the ring. No trouble there.
South Australia's brought it back to within 7, and it's their centre pass. And it's going to be important for them to convert this one. Nice 1-2 from the goal attack back to the wing attack. Just 6 in it.
Yeah, so they've cut this lead down already.
Good
front spot there.
Stevie had great space and Ben just hesitated on that first pass. Lucky to get the second option.
Lopes now to post. That's going to be obstruction. Puts that one in. So 41-34. Keeping that scoreboard ticking over. It's all Victoria really need to do. Up to South Australia trying to find a way here. And nice work from Will Sampson. A little pass back to the top and goes himself. Shorts it. Oh, the follow.
That's great work from the goal attack. He's the shortest man in the circle and gets the rebound. Just had the perfect timing. Baird Pospisil, he takes a step forward, a bit too early.
Touch picked up by Jacob
Therefore,
Sell.
unbalanced on the pass.
Oh, Matt Maharis finds himself on the deck and calls for the towel straight away. It's actually pretty hot for Victoria. It's going to be a fair bit of sweat in this arena and on the floors when the boys slip over.
Well, normally this is the autumn time in Melbourne. It's late April or mid-April, but we brought the summer weather back. It's 30 degrees yesterday and 29 today.
It was unexpected for me for Victoria. I'm used to it being a little bit colder than good old Adelaide. All right, underway again here. Matty Maharis on the 45 of the circle. Oh, that almost escaped the hands there of Ed Mead. I don't know how he quite pulled that in. On the split as well.
And we're back to 5 goals with the South Australia pass.
Yeah, so South Australia will be very happy with this. Popsicle gets a nice little hand in there.
I think he's trying to make up for that little passing error from earlier.
Finding some space now a bit easier, the South Australians, which is good to see. He's starting to combine a bit better. Again, some quick footwork there. That's contact on the post. So shot from close range, and both players would have been out there if that shot was missed.
Back to 4. Victoria centre pass. Spared to Gospel.
Oh, stepping call, was that?
I think his foot might have just gone. Oh, yeah, stepping call.
Stepping call, yeah. Haven't seen many of them. Sampson now, nowhere to go to. Tyson Jerry comes through for him. Ed Mead out the side. Oh, looks to post. Well done. Again, everyone thought he was going to probably feed that back out to the top of the circle.
It was a bit of a look-away pass, very deceptive, and there's plenty of space on the inside. So back to 3.
Yeah, Aaron Edmead has years and years of experience underneath his belt playing for South Australia.
That's a huge split from the goal shooter. Took the ball back over the back of his head, but his planted foot was right under the post. Nichols to Dower, and that ball is just a little bit too strong for Mikey Dower. So South Australia get another game, and there's only 3 goals in it. From a 9-goal lead, had 3 turnovers from Victoria.
Yeah, I feel like Victoria have just been stuck on 41 for a while.
It's a very nice intercept from Callum Baird. He really came out of nowhere for that one. And a bit of a settler, Danny Lotes. In-goal shooter, takes the goal. Gets us back out to 3 goals, 42 to 39.
Good look down there. Always looking down court, South Australia. I think that's probably one thing they are doing a bit better. It's not as much cross-court from them this quarter. Tyson Jerry gets stuck on the top of the circle, Popsicle with a contact. Probably lets off the pressure there with that contact. Nice split again.
But South Australia's got a bit more mobile circle, haven't they, too? So they've got 2 options coming forward rather than just the one option, and holding goal shooter seems to be working for them at the moment.
With Ed Mead and Sampson.
That ball was on, and it was just a little bit too high over the top of Danny Lotes. So Mikey Dower is now playing, still playing wing attack.
There's some good defence from Victoria on that baseline. Look, South Australia have got no depth. They're all flat. Having to go flat again.
So we've got
very hard to get out of there.
6-person defence in the top 2/3 of the court from Victoria, and they're really forcing South Australia to make several passes across.
Yep, but Matty Maharis finally
got the ball through, and then
central corridor.
Yeah, once you give up the penalty, then all bets are off on the zone defence. That pass, that penalty was just advanced. The umpire must have deemed it as intentional or a bit reckless. Good way for the umpires just to keep control of the game, make sure that the efforts for the defence are just not contesting on the body too much.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to let it get out of hand. If you just control it early, once it starts to get a bit sloppy, and it does get sloppy when the guys get tired. So
when the guys get tired, and if the umpires let the contest go too much, then people just...
it just compounds, doesn't it?
It builds and builds and builds until something gets dangerous, and then you get called, and then the players will complain. So much better for the umpires to keep the game under control early. Bit of a misunderstanding there, so Victoria get a game and have a throw-in. Oh, fantastic effort from the South Australian then. Baird to Dower, an impossible soul.
I was about to say no defence on that transition, but Stevie Braun came through and made a good effort on that on the sideline.
Was on 1 foot when he was delivering the pass, and so it's just a little bit off balance and made it a bit harder for the person receiving the ball to take it in the right spot. That fine balance between moving the ball quickly and having control.
Danny Lotes puts another one in for Victoria.
And that was a really beautiful long pass in from Mikey Dower.
Yeah, so getting back to that quick release, Victoria now, after having a bit of a dry spell, I would say, in terms of scoring. They were stuck on 41-42 for quite a while there. Back to a 3-goal lead for them again. Beautiful work by Ed Mead. He's just the elastic man, isn't he?
Oh, well, I just flinched when he took that ball because it looked like he broke
thought
his
he
ankle
flinched.
again.
I don't know that he has any tendons or anything in those ankles, so don't worry
that
about
could
it.
explain it then. Nothing left to break. I saw what he did. He actually landed on a full foot and then pivoted as he had landed. So he twisted his ankle and twisted his leg deliberately to get closer to the post.
And don't ask me how he does it. I don't know. You can't coach that. Like, it's just something he has picked up along the way. And
Natural
it's
skill.
absolutely fantastic, yeah. When you're not playing against him, that is.
Ooh, Andrew Burgess got a little tip on that ball, but able to be brought in by the South Australian shooter. That's a goal attack. That's Will Sampson.
Yeah, Will coming up from our 23s last year, having a good impact here in this game.
So we're down to the
Played
last
a bit of
4
everywhere.
minutes and 40 seconds of the third quarter. Both teams have been a little bit scrappier than that second quarter, and it's 45-43. Victoria gave up their 9-goal lead, and it's back to 4.
Matty Maharis, good solid centre pass received. Thomas Reid back on court for South Australia as well in that wing defence role.
So it's what happens in this last 3 or 4 minutes of the third quarter that's going to tell on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's right.
And
South
great
Australia.
effort there from Cal Baird, trying to come through with the outside arm.
Nice look for in there from Tyson Jerry in that centre role. He's been running it for a fair bit of the game today.
And that looks so good because the goal shooter just waited and popped at the last moment into the space for that pass to come in. And that pass is a little bit aggressive from our Pospisil. So Victoria give up another turnover.
Yeah, Lopes couldn't pull that one in. Crosby, nowhere to go.
Cal
'cause
Baird comes out of nowhere in the air.
It's just everyone on the sideline again,
His
right?
body was out of court, but he managed to touch the ball before he landed on the ground, and so that's not deemed as out of court. Well, it wasn't out of court.
Just nowhere to go for South Australia in those baseline throw-ins. The Victorians have done very well defensively. And they're going to want to review and find a way
But they're
to
setting
do
up
better.
so quickly. By the time the ball's been retrieved and you're standing at the sideline, the
That's right.
defensive setup is already
Australians
fully
are just
set.
looking at a wall of Victorians in front of them, aren't they?
Cal Baird for send-off for Victoria has really stepped up the intensity in this last 2 minutes. Got 2 good tips and intercepts, and really driving really hard when Victoria has the ball.
Sampson has to double back there. Stevie Braun gets out. Whoa, that is a long ball.
And that was, that was.
Bit hopeful.
I was going to say
think.
it was very
A bit
fortunate for
hopeful.
Victoria because I saw the contact, and Xander just needed to hold his ground, but he actually. Oh no, he's got the throw in.
He has got the throw in, yeah.
Yeah, so I actually he's given it away.
That throws it into the wrong side.
It's a timeout here.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of talking to. So Pospisil getting the a warning maybe, or
I don't think he got a warning, but the penalty
Bring the
was
ball in.
advanced. So
Yeah.
I think maybe the contact was late because the ball came straight
because of the
into
intercept,
South
and then
Australia.
it was,
The intercept was clearly on. There was no need for that contact after the ball had been taken in. I think we just saw Danny Lopes get off the ground then.
we did indeed. I think again the umpire could have played advantage on
Now
that.
that I've seen it, I want to see more of it, Tony. Nice shot, Alex. That's a nice finish. 49-46, just keeping the nose ahead. And we've got 2 minutes to go in the quarter, so this is where all the training and intensity really counts.
Yeah, quick hands
that
there.
was a
Cartwright
quick
can't reel
hands.
it in. Knew where it was going, just couldn't quite turn and catch it in time. So Sampson goes to backspace, opens it up for Ed Mead. He flinched again there.
I did, because I flinched then because I was wondering whether it was his grounded foot was
A bit of a
actually the
step
one by
when he
the
was
post.
kinda, yeah.
But the umpire was right there.
Yeah. Called it play on.
And that's Josh Browning, who's the umpire. He's one of the SSN umpires, so he certainly knows what he's doing. I don't think I'm going to be questioning him.
No,
Because I'm a
umpiring's
good
been
netballer. I don't question any of them.
No,
even when I'm playing.
Neither do I. Never.
Only when I'm umpiring, I seem to get questioned quite a bit. But that might be because I'm not a great umpire.
Oh, again. Oh, I just foot out of court and calling that not established. So, throwing for Victoria. Just uncharacteristic mistake there from Ed
I
Mead.
think we'll call that fortunate for Victoria. So 52 seconds to go, and Victoria just keeping control of this ball, which is really smart.
You can see a lot of South Australia getting themselves in the right spots defensively, but they're not having a go, just kind of standing there as a player drives through from Victoria. So it's a bit easy to
beautiful
to
footwork
transition.
from Alex Nichols then, because he realised the defenders had no chance of getting around his body to the ball. He let the ball bounce in 3 or 4 times before he did a split with his grounded foot right close to the post.
Yeah, Nichols can't get that one, so they go over to Dower. He's going to give that one to Nichols. He's right by the post.
And that's a nice float and land right on the baseline.
Absolutely good work there. So
whatever the
back
coach has been calling out in the last 2 minutes has made a difference for Victoria, because they've just upped that intensity and connection, and that's a lovely pass, isn't it?
It is nice high pass, but pulled it back flat. Sampson can't reel it in, and time has run out. So.
And Arbuton brought in that rebound, really important one at 52-47 to Victoria. The end of the third quarter, and we'll be back after a short break.
The Get Active Victoria app is an easy way to step into everyday activity with videos on yoga, dance, low impact and more. Set your own goals and track your progress. Victoria app today.
So we're back for the last quarter, fourth quarter of the men's Open Reserve game, Victoria versus South Australia. I'm Paul Nichols, commentating with my co-commentator.
So, yeah, a bit closer, Paul, isn't it, than I think Victoria would have liked it to be. That quarter was a fair bit of a comeback for South Australia.
It was. Well, Victoria got the wood on South Australia at the end of the second quarter, by 9, and we're back down to 5.
Yeah, and Victoria sprayed that first one.
South Australia got back to within 3, so just one quick turnover would have done it for them.
Oh, Stevie Braun manages to reel that in. Tyson Jerry, probably a bit deep as a centre, can go get himself out of there. He doesn't need to help out that far. Oh, a long look.
Good defensive pressure in the centre, but they've had a talk at the break and said when there's a zone on, look long.
Let's get over it. Yeah,
let's look long, because
get over this mess.
Obviously the Victorian defenders have all bunched themselves up into that middle third.
Yeah, and Will Sampson just set that screen down there on that back defender, and over the ball went. Very, very clever.
And he didn't have to think about it. He just turned and let the ball go.
So good coaching there from the South Australian coaches to let their players know about that. And, that was close to a held ball for sure. Contact came, though, on Cartwright. Sampson trying to step in and waiting for Ed Mead to pop. Obstruction there.
So had a few changes on the lineup for Victoria. We've got Xander Arbuthnot in goalkeeper. Simon Cartwright is now in goal defence. And Tom Giliberto has moved into wing defence, replacing Flynn Pospisil. Cal Baird is still centre. Mark Udower is staying in wing attack. Alex Nichols goal attack, and Danny Lopes in goal shooter.
Yeah, for South Australia, Lockie Crosby's come back on to goalkeeper. We saw him off in the race with the physio trying to work through maybe a little bit of an injury or something there after he went off earlier in the game. So good to see him back on and hopefully having an impact on this game.
Arbuthnot's really working himself into the game in goalkeeper. He had a really nice tip in on the ground then as the ball was bounced into the goal shooter. Keep working like that, he'll get a tip and get some scraps.
And shots in. So back to 5 goals.
Back to 3.
Sorry, back to 3. Should wait for the score to go up before I call it out. Oh, a nice easy flow there. Good ball from Dower over to Lopes, who does get a friendly roll. Again, quite a bit of bounce off of these rings, but that one bounces in. Matt Maharis doing the work, get that centre pass, popping back, opens up Tyson Jerry in the pocket. And Sampson again doing that work. Ed Mead on the hold.
Xander Arbuthnot is doing power of work in goalkeeper and just causing South Australia to hesitate on the pass and go backwards a couple of times. Even though he hasn't got his hand on the ball, it's causing a lot of disruption.
Yeah, just got to be the general down there and keep it, don't you? And tell your other defenders
and
where to go, where the ball's coming, and then they can take intercepts like that.
Yep. And if you keep your attacker busy, they can only go to the other attacker and chance for the defender to get in front.
Oh, missed shot there.
That was a better transition. Great rebound from Alex Nichols, and he managed to do the split as he regained the ball, finishes with the shot. So this is a combination we haven't seen on court before. Now, Alex and Danny, they came on together just at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, so a couple of new combinations for Victoria, but again, second game, only early in the tournament. They're going to need all of them, and they have settled in. So 6 goals up now for Victoria. Quite a high-scoring game, 56.
Andrew Burgess, 50. That was really athletic. That was really great work. Just managed to...
out-of-court call, so all of that coming back here to the sponsorship signage. Oh, Ed Mead almost gets a hand on it. Again, Victoria on the sideline, but they open that up nicely. Dower, can he find a shooter? Yes, he can. Nichols finishes off beautifully. Good transition there from Victoria.
Coaches have said something to Alex Nichols in that quarter break because he's come back on and just his movement is much quicker and he's sweeping much further out to the sidelines and back into the circle.
Lopes, nice strong take. Ball over from Dower, who feeds really well. He's been doing it all game. Michael Dower.
We're back out to 8.
Yeah, so again, quickly it's all of a sudden back up to 8. It was just said it was 3 a second ago. And
there we go.
Throw the ball in the hands.
Goal defence is just, bad luck. Got the call for obstruction.
Ed Mead has really been that release outside the
Victoria
circle.
making them work hard again on this. They've got to get the ball out. Every time they get the ball in the circle or get the ball to the pocket, it's coming back out again. Yeah, that was more direct, that triangle.
And finishes off. 10 minutes to go here, 7 goals. Definitely doable in the game of netball. It's been a very, very good contest so far across the first 50 minutes of this. See Jacob Searle on into the goalkeeper position. Now working with Stevie Braun for Lockie Crosby once again.
That was good defensive effort from South Australia because they timed their jumps separately.
Yeah, try and have that double jump.
Nichols wasn't comfortable to shoot it in the first second. He couldn't shoot it in the second and quickly laid it off in the third second.
Oh, Matt Maharis doing a mountain of work to get himself free there. Doesn't get it.
A little tip from Alex Nichols. That was really good. He's got longer arms than you think.
Gilberto now down to Dower, finding himself on that circle edge. Free and easy. He's fed very well all game. Lopes misses that one, but it's going to be obstruction.
We don't count that as a miss.
And obstruction for both. Another obstruction. So no misses there. And Lopes puts it in.
He doesn't miss often, so you don't give him 3 chances. Out to 9, Victorian centre pass. Baird to Dower, back to Baird. Danny Lotz is coming out a bit more. So we've got the movement in the circle is just happening a little bit better for Victoria right now.
Yeah, good coverage here from South Australia though. Double team, then steps off. Good work from Jacob Searle. And who's that on? He's on Searle. And doesn't miss again. Can't keep giving them free shots. Sampson gets that, turns, has to go back. Oh, floats it over to Reed. Oh, Mahara slips on the centre circle there. Crosby back on into goal defence, so that was probably more just a positional swap, taking him off from keeper. Let him have a run out goal defence.
Andrew Burgess has come out with 3 beautiful tips and intercepts in the first half of this last quarter.
Oh, what a look. Over to Nichols on the drive. Just ignored all the mess in front of him.
Took the ball in the air, landed nice and close to the circle.
So somehow it's 11 goals now to Victoria. They have just powered through this last little section of play here. And Nichols with the hold, opens up Lotz at the back, who takes the contact, misses a shot. Searle up and under on Lotz, so he'll get another shot.
The defenders nearly had that one. It was
they
just
were very close,
timing of the jump, but he was in the right spot.
Maharis, got a lot of attention from 3 Victorians. Somehow came up with that ball. Robinson also back on for South Australia in that centre position. So again, still with the short goal circle. Good pop there by Sampson. And hits that shot. Going to need a lot more of that in the last 7 minutes if they want to catch this Victorian team.
That's a really nice centre pass from Callum Baird. He just took his time, waited, passed the ball perfectly into the corner of the centre third for Nichols to come and take the ball and land just in the right spot.
Tell you what, Callum Baird has just run all game, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's really maintained his composure.
Yeah, it's been just nice, solid, good pace.
Have you known Callum? So Callum used to play in the under-20s and under-23s. He was always a defender because he couldn't run, couldn't move.
Yeah, right.
He was literally 40 kilos heavier. And he is now one of the fittest, fastest, most athletic guys on the court.
Yeah, just played amazingly well. So solid, so steady.
Yep. Just loves the game and wanted to be fit enough to play really well and worked really hard. Yep.
So maybe some changes coming for Victoria as well here. There's a couple of players in the box. Change for South Australia as well.
So Ben Gospel comes in wing defence for Simon Cartwright.
Oh, Dower. Oh, yes, Jacob
Alex just let that ball go too early and Danny had come off the hole to... Connection just not quite happening on that occasion.
Oh, nice look. Straight in there. And missed
the
shot.
Right over the back. No chance for a rebound even.
No,
5 minutes to go. 13 points in it. So Tom Fisher's on at wing attack. No, Tom Fisher's on at goal attack. Replaced Alex Nichols.
Yeah, it's Jackson Winkley in for South Australia in that goal shooter position. He missed that first shot. Oh, Lotz, only one that goes for the rebounds.
Oh, and he's missed again, but Tom Fisher up, gets the rebound, pulls the ball in, and finishes nicely.
Winkley on the hold, doesn't get the ball. Here's the hold again. New tall target for South Australia to work with. Started with Goggins, and South Australia went mobile. And Winkley's missed that one as well, unfortunately, for South Australia.
Arbuthnot brings in the rebound nicely. Quick transition down court, though it's going from side to side, which is not the most efficient way to go.
As you say that, side to side again. Oh, touches from South Australian
hands. What happens when you go too much cross court, the opposition gets a chance to anticipate, look at the ball, stick a hand in. That was probably one of those occasions where they needed to stop, look backwards, get everyone reset, and then move the ball down the court. Everyone was sort of out of position, so they had to go cross court. Yeah, that's a beautiful feed into goal shooter, South Australia.
There we go.
3
On the
minutes,
board.
45 to go, and we're 13 points at 66 to 53. Break from South Australia. Victoria advanced the ball up to the transverse line.
Yeah, so considering how close this game has been, I don't think South Australia would be happy with 13 goals.
No, but disappointing because it felt like a really goal-for-goal game the whole way through, really. It's just been those a couple of turnovers at the wrong moments.
Yeah, and South Australia have been right
2
in
or
this
3
game.
minutes of
just
intensity.
patchy bits.
Yep.
End of a quarter here, a little bit of a slump in the middle of one there, and that's resulted in 14 goals now.
Same thing happened to Victoria, though. You were 9 up and they got back within 3.
Yeah,
So, you know, we could have been up by 20 if you maintain the level of intensity the whole game.
Yeah.
That's what we love about netball, though, you know. It's not just
Jesse
about
Robinson.
your physical skill and your passing and catching. It's the mental game and the team game that makes the difference.
Yeah, great read there too from Jacob Sell at the back. Comes through for another intercept. Winkley goes back to Tyson Cherry. Gets clobbered there on the circle edge. And this ball will go up and over. And too far on the way back.
So
Sampson had
Tom
to have a go for
Gilberto
it.
just had presence of mind to keep following that ball and bring in the rebound in.
Robinson knew he contacted there on the way through. Left early.
Callum Beard takes a quick penalty then, but pass wasn't that great and fortunately was knocked out by South Australia. Now it looks like there's some kind of contact call on the top of the circle. So both goal shooters setting up the same then, holding their bodies against the defender, and they're both wanting to pop forward, but it made it a bit confusing for the feeder. Would have been better for one to keep holding ready to pop and the other one to draw right out of the circle hard. And that was, they're resetting that. I wondered if it was going to be called for replay.